Welcome to Side Trips, where I chat with your favorite authors about their passions, pet projects, and favorite pastimes. And I'm so excited today to visit with New York Times best-selling author, award-winning author, prolific author of over 65 books, Brenda Novak. Brenda, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. I was really excited when you invited me.
Oh, well, it's been so much fun to chat with my favorite authors and just to get to know a little bit about a different side of them. So for side trips, what we focus on is taking a detour with authors about something that's a little bit different than just talking about their books or my book or any, like that. So we want to get to know more about you. And I know you have a lot of passions.
Yes, and it's always fun to talk about your passion, right? So that's why I was excited to join you.
So tell us about your online book club, which is absolutely amazing.
Well, it is now up to 17,500 members. So what started out as something I thought would be maybe 400 members, and we'd all sort of read the same book each month and discuss it, has kind of grown bigger than I thought. But what's great about it is it's still retained its small feel because the people in there are so caring and supportive of each other, and just the community is really warm. So, when we started it, we were wondering whether people would be interested in trying the books that I recommended, and we've been really excited because so many of them have gotten back to say, you've introduced me to so many new authors, and now I follow her all the time, and I love, I read her, and so it's fun to get that kind of feedback because obviously I love books, which is why I write them. But I'm a reader first and foremost. So I love finding a new author. So it's really fun when I find a new author that I can then, recommend to them.
Yes. And it's not just a typical book club where you meet monthly and chat about a book. You do that, but there's so much more to this online book club. What are some of the other features? I know you've been doing some really fun things during the
we've been trying to step it up because people, I think a lot, especially older women, seem to be really alienated right now because they're telling them don't go out, it's not safe, and yet maybe their children are grown, they can't see their grandchildren. So anyway, it's just kind of isolating, obviously, what we're going through. I mean, for a lot of people, but seems like for my reader demographic, there's a lot of them that are, this is a difficult time. And so we've been trying to do fun things, like we do an online or a virtual bingo night once a month. And we have my husband, they call him Bingo Host Ted. And so, they can get a little bingo kit from the store on my website, or even just print something out and use it at home. There's no cost involved unless they want the special little kit that he signs. But he does this bingo, and he tells dad jokes while he does it. It just kind of gives us all a break. And the cohesiveness and the friendships are really what's most important in a book group. I mean, the books are great too, but I would even venture to say that they are secondary to the friendships. So I think number one is friendships, number two is books, and those are our two priorities. And so we build friendships in this group, and we also share our love of books. So we do extra things that may not be totally book related, although many of the prizes for our bingo night are, of course, book related. We give away autographed books and other things to the winners.
Well, I happen to have visited some of your online monthly book clubs, and I know you cook. You have guests come in to help cook, and what kinds of things how do you decide?
I have to tell you about one story real quick. It's hilarious about when you mentioned cooking. So I was trying to show everybody how to make caramel, right? And I make caramel all the time. I love it. I have a great recipe for it. We shared the recipe in one of the boxes. And so we were going to do this online cooking demonstration as part of our fun thing. And we were also going to do a little craft. So we have Lexi has the craft. She helps me, my daughter. And so she has the little craft ready for me. It's going to be this Christmas ornament that we sort of decoupage a picture on, and you can peel it off. And anyway, it was really kind of a cool idea, and it should have been very easy. And so she accidentally got the wrong kind of paper. So when we put the picture on, it stuck like glue. So here I am live, and I'm trying to show them how great I'm doing this craft. And I mean, you can't even get the picture off. It rips. It's terrible. So I say to them, you know what, I'm not that great at crafts anymore, but I still am a pretty good cook. So let's move over to the caramel. Well, meanwhile, my husband had thought he was going to do me a favor, and he had covered up my caramel with a lid for some reason. So I pick up the lid, and Alexa pans over with the camera, and I mean, it is black tar. So, I mean, we were laughing so hard that we could hardly stand up because this is all live, to the book group, and I've just slaughtered everything I'm supposed to do. So we remember that as our most epic fail, but we have done some other really fun cooking demonstrations that have worked out. And so, and we would just pick, you know, my favorite things, really. It's all about kind of getting to know each other. And we'll even have cooking demonstrations from a friend of mine named Dana, who's an amazing cook. As a matter of fact, she's going to be doing one on how to do sourdough bread very shortly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. And I mean, we just pull in fun things from everybody we know. Alexa's boyfriend, Vinny, works for Gallo Wines. So he is a wine expert. He has whatever that thing is that you get when you're a wine aficionado. I don't know, it's some licensing or whatever. But it's hard. You have to pass a test and do all this stuff. So anyway, he's an expert in wine. So our September box has, we do Brenda Novak book boxes, which is a subscription box service. And we include an autographed copy of whatever author we're featuring, but we also do a lot of fun stuff around that. So it's all curated according to a theme. So anyway, our theme for September is kind of conversation with maybe a glass of wine and some olive oil and vinegar that comes from California, balsamic vinegar. And we have other fun things in there. I can't reveal the surprise item, but my husband's going to be making them and they're really cute. But anyway, so Vinny's going to do a wine recommendation wine class. So that's coming up in September.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not all books, it's fun stuff too that kind of goes along, because a good glass of wine goes along with books and a good book group, I think. So anyway, we just bring in a lot of fun things and have a great time with it.
That is so much fun. So much fun. And there's nothing better than getting something in the mail, you know,
Right.
surprise. There's nothing better than that. And so you've been so generous enough to offer to our listeners, if they sign up for our newsletters on our respective sites, that they have a chance to win a September box.
Yeah, a September Brenda Novak book box, which I just kind of went over some of the contents, but one thing I didn't mention that's really cool, and Alexa and I lovingly crafted 200 thought-provoking questions. I don't know if you've seen this. It's kind of a game where you get together with a conversation box, and as you're having friends over, you're sitting on a veranda, or you could do this during Zoom.
Yes.
Through COVID to stay connected, which is kind of cool. But you get out your conversation box and you just randomly pick out a card and you ask this thought-provoking question. And it's a way to get to know people and have kind of more rousing, you know, conversation than just the day-to-day. So we've crafted this custom box that's square, it's wooden, it's really cool. And then these conversation cards that go in them. And that'll be part of September's box, in addition to the California olive and the wine recommendations and the way to decorate a cool cheese plate. And I'm trying to remember what else goes in that box. So they'll have to check it out. It's on my website, on the store. I'm not remembering all the contents. And like I mentioned, there's a surprise item that's going to be fun if my husband can get through the amount of work that's going to take. I think he'll be out in the garage for a week trying to make that happen. But anyway, yes, so we're giving away a September Brenda Novak book box. Oh, I didn't even mention our featured read for September is a hardcover by Hank Philippi Ryan.
Oh.
And he has signed all of them, of course. And so
it's the first July.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah, I got a sneak peek into that. It is amazing. It is.
Oh,
so
good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read it. We still have our August book group meeting with Megan Crane, and then I'll be moving on to First July by Hank, and I'm super excited about it. And she's going to be a great guest, as is Megan Crane. So we have some great things coming up. We've got Debbie Maycomer coming in December, which of course she always has a brand new hardcover out for Christmas. I think my readers are going to love that. And we may be planning, this isn't for sure, but we're talking about a big Christmas party that we do jointly, which would be really fun. So we'll see if that works out, if we can work out all the logistics. But anyway, lots of fun things coming up in the group. Everybody's invited to join and read along with these fabulous authors as I feature them each month. We're just getting our schedule down for next year, and I cannot wait to announce that.
So much fun. So much
Yeah.
fun. You have to talk to us a little bit. You have a new book out this summer called One Perfect Summer. Can you tell us a little bit about, because it's got a great premise that I just love.
Yeah. It's about 3 women who individually take a DNA test for different reasons, and they get a big surprise. They figure out from the results that they are half sisters, and they have no idea how. I mean, this wasn't something any of them expected. They weren't searching for lost family members, or lost sisters anyway. And so they decide they're going to get together at a cabin in Tahoe, and they end up spending the summer there together. But it's a, you know, about finding sisters and family, and the big mystery, of course, how did this happen? How did we ever come to be, you know, related? And so it's just a really kind of a good feel-good summer read, I think. And so it's been fun to hear people's reaction to the story. Of course, it's brought up so many cool stories of people who have had their DNA tested and have come up with siblings or other family that they didn't know about. And so, I mean, sometimes that can be dicey too, you know, a really emotional roller coaster, but it's been very interesting hearing all the intriguing stories.
That's so great. And I think, you know, too, you know, as readers, one thing we love besides book clubs and book groups is reading books about books. And I know,
Yeah.
like, one of my favorites is I was thinking about this, a book about a book club or a book about books. I've had a couple. One was Angry Housewives Eating Bonbons by Orna Lambic, which is a great story about, you know, a women's group who get together.
Yeah. I
And
missed that one, but I have on my to read list Susan Wiggs's latest. I think it's called The Lost and Found Bookshop. Yeah, so I'm excited to try that one. We featured her before, and so I would like to read that one as well. And to be honest with you, when I wrote my next book, which is called The Bookstore on the Beach, I wanted to write a book about books. That was what I was craving. Maybe because I was inspired by my book group, I don't know, but I just really felt like that would be a fun story. And so the bookshop features prominently in this story of 3 generations, and some of the secrets and difficulties that they're dealing with in their lives, and how they overcome them and become closer as a family.
well, we cannot wait for that one. So thank you so much, Susan, for being here with us, or excuse me, Brenda, for being here with us today, and you know, sharing your books, your book group, and your willingness, generosity to give away the book box for September. And so when I post this, we'll have more info about how folks can sign up for that and try to get involved. So thank you so much.
Oh, I appreciate you having me. And it was so wonderful when we featured you in the group. Everybody loved your book, including me. So it was such a joy and a pleasure. We need to get you back in.
Oh, I loved it. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.